Again, hello, welcome to Hatty Waiver Guru, getting ready to go to week 4. Got a lot of picks for you. Hope you've been watching my videos. If you need more picks than what I'm going to give you, go back to my previous weeks. I've got tons of picks there. I'll try not to recommend someone too often unless I really think they need to be on your team. But let's go ahead and start with quarterbacks. There's no grabs this week, but the situation you want to watch is you want to watch Mike Kafka and Vince Young. Vince Young will most likely get the start in Philadelphia. Michael Vick will probably be out a couple weeks. They say it's a deep bruise, broken hand. They're not really giving us all the information, but I would think Vince Young starts. But it's a watch for me because I'm not 100% certain who's going to be the starter. If I had to bet, I would say Vince Young. Spot starter, I've talked to him about every week. Matt Hasselbeck, he keeps throwing up good numbers. It's a good quarterback for that system, and I'd recommend him as a spot starter if you got an injured quarterback like a Michael Vick situation. Running back, I've talked about him last week. I'll talk about him again. He's the running back grab. It's Daniel Thomas in Miami. He's getting the lion's share of the carries. You got Reggie Bush having fumbling problems, not making a good case to be a feature back. Daniel Thomas is the feature back. He's looking sharp. He's probably not going to last long, so go grab him quickly. Spot starters. Okay, here's some new names. You got Stephen Ridley in New England. He looked pretty good. He's probably going to start taking some carries away from Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. He's spot starter. I've got him as a spot starter, but really, I wouldn't spot start him yet. So almost a watch for me there. Next is Dexter McCluster. I told you to look at Thomas Jones and Dexter McCluster for PPR and for touchdown leagues. Hopefully, McCluster's still out there for you, or you grabbed him. He looks like he's going to be the feature back there with Thomas Jones kind of mixed in. I really like Dexter McCluster. And next, let's get a little bit ahead here. Bernard Scott. Cedric Benson's going to be suspended probably for 3 games, so Bernard Scott will fill in. So Bernard Scott is a spot starter. Next, we'll move on to wide receivers. I told you about him last week. He's a definite grab. It's Nate Washington. Kenny Britt is probably going to be out, maybe even the rest of the season. Nate Washington's the guy to own there. We've talked about him. I hope you grabbed him. Next, rookie Torrey Smith making his first debut. First game, looking sharp, 3 touchdowns. He's just a burner. I mean, he's like a Deshaun Jackson, just burner. He looked great. I've got him in a bunch of my dynasty leagues, but now it's time to go ahead and grab him and to have him. Next is Jacoby Ford. He should be back week 4. Denarius Moore is looking awesome. He is also a pickup, but Jacoby Ford, again, getting ahead of the curve. Go ahead and pick him up. You can stash him. Let's see how he does for a week or 2, okay? I'm watching Donald Jones. David Nelson was the pick from last week, still did well. Donald Jones is probably going to be up and down. I wouldn't expect that type of consistency from him, but he's going to be on the field. Buffalo is looking awesome. To be able to beat New England's incredible. So Donald Jones is my watch. Spot starter is Victor Cruz. If Mario Manningham misses another game, Victor Cruz will continue to have good production. If Manningham is back, don't expect Cruz to do much. So he's just a spot starter. And your next spot starter is Steve Smith. Macklin could be injured, could be out for a little while. Steve Smith is just a spot starter for me because you got that quarterback issue there. But Steve Smith out of Philadelphia is someone to, you can use as a spot starter. And then finally, I've got a couple spot starters at tight end. First one is Brandon Pettigrew. I've mentioned him before. I think I mentioned him in week 1. Definitely finally had a good game. He's going to be up and down, so he's just a spot starter for me. And then also is James Casey out of Houston. Kind of come out of nowhere. He's going to be up and down also, but definitely has the ability, someone that I could potentially use as a spot starter for an underperforming tight end or a disappointing tight end, like maybe you drafted Mercedes Lewis, didn't do too well, or you're Antonio Gates owner, and he's, in and out. James Casey. And then, Randy McMichael, you can keep an eye on him in San Diego, but it's not someone I'm going and running after because Gates could play or he could not. And I don't like to have a player that I put in and then doesn't even play at all. So, not really my favorite choice there. But that's it for week 4. Definitely check out the site. Go to facebook.com/HattyWaiverWireGuru to ask questions. So if you have questions, go to Facebook. Check out the site. I've got rankings there. I've got articles there. Support me, and you can buy my app on iTunes. I have a link on HattyWaiverWireGuru.com. And that's it. Week 4. Good luck, and that's it.